Hi, my name is Mark Monlix, and you're watching another episode of Epic Sketch Time. So, quick introductions all the way around. I live in Tacoma, Washington, and I'm a freelance illustrator. Occasionally, I have some web comics up called The Return of Stickman and The Comic Critic.
I'm Crystal Rollins. I live in Renton, Washington, and I'm a pre-press artist, but I do comic work in my spare time under Wayward Studios, where we have a bunch of web comics, including Aspect and Chakosha.
And Patrick will be joining us later, but we've got a new person here. Introduce yourself, Angie. Tell people about yourself.
Well, I'm mainly a fan. Angie Fiedler-Sutton. I am a freelance writer, and also I work for the Latino Donor Collaborative, a nonprofit dedicated to increasing awareness of Latinos in the media. But Mark, you were my very first Twitter follower.
Oh, yay!
To this day, I have no idea why you decided to follow me first, but to this day, that's like, every time you give me creepy cake for my birthday, I'm like, yay!
Creepy cake is best cake. Well, except maybe for real cake. Real cake is best cake.
I get so much mileage out of creepy cake.
And that is super useful if you made like a cake picture that you can just send to people every year, because it's way more special than like happy birthday LOL click.
And I thought it would get old when I decided to do it the next year and just started recycling it, but people seem to like the fact that they've been getting the same stupid cartoon year after year after year.
Well, it's tradition now. I have a friend who writes me a haiku every year, because we both, our journalist class in undergrad, our teacher to teach us how to write short made us write haikus over and over and over again. So every birthday, he writes me a haiku.
Journalism haikus. Wow. That, you know what? I would read even more news if it came in haiku form. That should be like a newspaper that's nothing but haikus. And they can only do long stories if it's in long format poetry.
I want to say one of my journalist friends did a bunch of movie reviews as haikus.
I think I've heard of some like that. That sounds familiar.
I would love to hear some of those movie reviews. That sounds absolutely wonderful.
See, Mark, you need to team up. You can do all the pictures and they can do all the haikus.
Speaking of pictures, this is one from my next series I'm working on of obscure movie aliens, and it is the brain from planet Eros. Isn't he just a wonderful looking guy?
He looks very upset. Like he's been a brain for a long time and he really just wishes he had hands so he could strangle people.
It was a wonderful 1950s B movie with this thing kind of halfway showing up and just glowing with glowing eyes and a superimposed film.
It's like a movie classic. It's glowing. It must be bad.
Which naturally segues into our weekly conversation of what movies did you watch this week? How many of them were bad?
I don't think I've watched a movie in the last week, but me and my friend just burned through the first 8 episodes of Yuri on Ice.
What's this?
I've been hearing about that on Tumblr.
I'm surprised you haven't heard about it yet. It's an anime about competitive figure skating in the men's division. The main character is like a washed up, air quotes, old figure skater because he's like 23. And he accidentally catches the eye of this other star figure skater who decides to take him under his wing and coach him. And drama ensues.
Now, is this on Crunchyroll, or where's this?
Crunchyroll has the sub, and Funimation has the dub. I guess they're partnering that it's split between those two sites. The dub is really, really good. knowing you'll probably watch it sub, and the sub is good, but it's one of those shows that talks so fast. The couple episodes I had to watch subbed because the sub is coming out faster than the dub. I was getting lost because there was just so much text on the screen.
I've gotten my wife really addicted to anime, and she's been going into all these subgenres. Like, she's really into sports anime now.
Oh, well, then she'd love it.
Oh yeah, we're watching Days and was something Ping Pong Girls, Blazing Ping Pong Girls, and there's some others. The boys swim team one, I just let her watch without me. So
this is one you might want to like just have her watch without you then, because there's a fair amount of like boy on boy fan service. Not like super risque, but like
with that title, who'd have guessed?
I don't know. You know, when I first heard about it, I didn't know it was male figure skating, so I assumed it was girls because, you know, the name is Yuri on Ice, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be one of those, like, a bunch of girls tittering around to please the male audience shows, and it's the exact opposite. So good, though. It's really well written. It's hilarious as hell. And there's like puns and sight gags, and the animation is really good too.
Because we're looking for new stuff to add to our ever-increasing list.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a good one. And there's only 8 episodes out now, so like we burned through it in about 3 nights, and that was because we were being good and only watching a couple episodes a night. Like, this is definitely one you could get into right now and come back to as they actually release episodes without disrupting any other series that you're trying to catch up on.
We also enjoy animes that deal with yokai in a pleasant way, so things like Natsume we enjoy.
Yokai in a pleasant way? As in, like, just supernatural shows, or what?
Yeah, well, pleasant yokai, not the scary term of part yokai.
Yeah, I always thought like the word yokai meant they had to be bad. Like, I thought they had a different word for good or neutral spirits. Did I misunderstand that?
You might be right, but it seems like a lot of some of the spirits in this one could be considered bad, but most of them seem to be good-natured. I mean, sure, they talk about eating you all the time, but...
Oh, then I guess that is yokais, because the second you're like, they joke about eating humans, I'm like, oh, yeah, I think that's pretty much I'm a yokai dead giveaway in Japanese culture. The only things that want to eat humans are yokais. Does it want to eat a human? It's a yokai.
So I'm trying to put together a list of... I realize I was severely behind on my next book, which I'm calling I Watch Dead People. And it's about old classic movies. And I put together a list.
Is it the next book you're putting together?
Yeah,
or the next book you're reading?
My next compilation.
Ah.
And I need to get about 20 more reviews, at least 10, if not 20 more reviews in. So this is going to take me another couple of months. The fact is, I got very busy with real clients paying me real money and had to put this. Meanwhile, all my fans are kind of going, "Why don't you have a new book?" And they're always eager for the next one, but it takes at least a couple years to do each one. Maybe I should just do a Return of Stickman book and get that one out there really quickly, because this one's going to take me a little longer. But so my next movie review that I'm working on right now is Oliver, because I just realized how much I love that musical.
So you're doing just like normal reviews, and you're doing a book of lesser known aliens, and you're going to do one that's only ghost story movie reviews?
The lesser known aliens is a deck of cards.
Oh, sorry. Okay, deck of cards.
Patrick, you're all out of breath. Do you have time to introduce yourself?
This isn't Patrick, it's Bill. Sorry.
Oh, Bill, I didn't think you were coming. I thought you had a conflict.
I did, and then I just got the cancellation, the apology that she was in Bismarck and had to reschedule. So it goes.
So I was just talking about how my next movie review was going to be on Oliver. Has anyone besides me seen Oliver?
Like the musical?
Yes, the musical.
It's been a while, but yeah.
Because sometimes I never know when I'm watching these things if anyone else has ever seen them. Aside from Bill.
I've only seen the animated version with the cats.
Oliver and Company, thank you very much.
I highly recommend the 1968 version with real people.
She got against cartoon cats. They make the best movies. Cats can dance.
That's another movie I have never heard good things about.
What, Cats and Dance? Oh, that's awesome. It's so wrong, it's right. It's an entire sub-commentary on minorities getting into the movie business back in the 20s and 30s.
And frankly, kind of to today.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten less blatant, but it's still basically happening.
So the name of this film is Cats Can Dance?
Cats can't dance.
Cats can't dance.
Yeah, the lead vocals was Scott Bakula. back during Quantum Leap's heyday.
Is it shortly after he did Bugsy Malone then, or?
Scott Bakula was in Bugsy Malone?
He was, well, am I thinking Bugsy Malone? Yeah. Bugsy Malone was Scott Bakula. That was his breakout movie.
No, that was Scott Baio. You're thinking
Oh, pardon me. Scott Baio. I'm sorry. Big difference.
Not Chachi.
Oh, God.
I was going to
My
say,
apologies to Scott Bakula.
Thank you.
Hang on, I'm going to check my tweet deck. I think someone's trying to reach me. Nope. I guess that wasn't my computer beeping.
Oh, that was probably me. It was this one. I have this email account that keeps drowning me in junk mail. I turned it off.
Oops, lost my screen there. I'll put it back on. So, Patrick, what are you working on tonight? I mean, Bill, what are you working on tonight?
Well, let's see. Sorry, it's still getting into the stream of things. Currently, I'm working on my annual exercise of masochism. That is The Christmas Story. And I'm doing pretty good. I finished the second Sunday strip, this morning, and as soon as the screen share starts working, I'll show it off.
I'm really excited that a new art supply store has opened up inside Tacoma.
Nice.
The last art supply store in Tacoma, well, we've got things like Michael's and Artco, but they're more crafts-oriented store than they are art supply stores. And there's a Arts and Craftsman, or Artists and Craftsman.
Artists and Craftsman Supply?
Yeah, it's there's one in Seattle, but they just opened up one in Tacoma.
Oh, wonderful! I love that.
Nice. I don't have to go to U District to go to them.
Yeah, if this one's closer for you, please come on down.
It's about the same, but downtown Tacoma is still not as bad as trying to deal with downtown Seattle.
Oh yeah, you don't have to deal with driving through the traffic too.
Not to mention, like, Artists and Craftsman Supply is this teeny tiny. It's in U District, so it's got like this teeny tiny parking lot, and like getting in and out is a nightmare because there's like one-way roads and.
You don't park into that teeny tiny parking lot. What you do is the parking lot that's located up there on the corner of 48th and 45th, right off the highway. That big thing there.
Yeah, that one's still pretty small.
Oh,
and it's still hard to get into because it's like you have to cross over both directions of traffic if you don't happen to come from the south from the highway.
Well, that's true, but hey, the parking is free and it's not completely street.
Yeah, that is better than most of U District. That is absolutely true.
Now, unfortunately, for the one in Tacoma, you do have to deal with street parking, but it's fairly available and it's free right in front. So it's just on the edge of where the city of Tacoma starts charging for parking, which isn't very much. I think it's 75 cents for an hour.
Oh, jeez. That's almost in the range of, like, why are you even charging?
Yeah.
Like, that seems like that would cost more for the meter maids than...
Actually, it's a big pain in the butt because they only limit it to 2 hours. So you can't pay for a whole day. You have to go out every 2 hours and pump in another $1.50.
Okay, finally got the screen share working. Oh, sorry. But anyway, here's the second Sunday strip.
Wow.
And I'm pretty excited because I'm starting to get a little bit. I did all the line work on Clip Studio.
Clip Studio?
Yeah. Though I'm fine. Though as much as I'm very happy with how much better it is with the drawing from scratch thing, I'm finding the lettering and the word balloons very frustrating.
Yeah. There's not really any getting around that it just is not that good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, here I thought that it's 4 comics and therefore it'll be fantastic, and then suddenly realizing, do you guys want me to stick to Photoshop? Because
yeah, I mean, you could always draw, like you could do the text and then draw balloons around them freehand.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not always an option with everyone's art style.
Yeah, and
like sorry, go.
Oh, sorry, and it's not just the balloons; it's the fact that I had to redo the text. I mean, it's sort of like the text manipulation was really getting on my nerves. It's sort of like I had to reset it to wraparound about 4 times, even when I thought I had programmed the controls, and then the wraparound is not acting with the words. It's pretty much cutting words in half and not by the syllables.
Ugh.
Have you ever had that problem?
I have avoided it like the plague. I don't use Clip Studio enough yet and I'm really familiar with Illustrator, so I just overlay an Illustrator layer for all of my text.
Oh,
I cheat.
right.
Sorry, can't help you. My friend Emma's messed with it a little bit, so I could ask her if she's got any advice.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm so close and in the process of converting to it, and then it keeps playing and keeps giving me reasons to stick with the old stuff.
Only thing I can recommend is maybe see if anybody's done like a YouTube video on how to make text and see if you can glean anything there.
Right.
I like Crystal's solution of just, doing the text in a separate file and Illustrator and layering it over.
Mm-hmm. And here's the one I'm finishing right now. Oh, and did I show you the finished version of the first one? This is
the first Christmas strip. Yeah, I think you did.
Okay. Well,
I don't think we didn't see the color last time. Last you'd gotten done was the line art for that.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yes, I was working on the line art during that meeting.
So Stowe is still kind of locked out. He's hoping to have the issue with Annie Wright School resolved by next week. So that
man, he's still dealing with that?
Well, it's only Monday, so they hadn't returned from the holiday. They haven't responded to his query, which he sent out just before everyone went on vacation.
Did they give a reason why this has happened?
They haven't responded. I'm guessing because it's an old girls' school,
Mm-hmm.
that maybe it was decided that the girls should be spending less time on Google Hangout and more time studying.
Mm-hmm.
Just a thought, or maybe there's some. It could be that there's a licensing dispute. I thought that was freely accessible. It could also just be that somebody in the IT department flipped the switch or an automatic filter applied itself because of transgression. It just needs to be reset. But he knows nothing and hasn't heard back from the IT department today. Or at least when I spoke to him, I saw him at 11 o'clock this morning when we were doing a in-person drawing group that we have in Tacoma called Freelance Fandango. We meet Mondays at 11. But yeah, he wants to start to get back into the helm of things.
Mm-hmm. So I finished watching my selection early this week.
What were the movies that you watched?
It was something called Best Offer, starring Jeffrey Rush, and the Thomas Crown Affair.
The latest Thomas Crown Affair or the first Thomas Crown Affair?
The first one. That was kind of a mistake on my part. Not that I regret seeing the first one, but since my theme was my planned theme was art capers, and while the remake is an art caper, the original is not.
Have you seen How to Steal a Million?
No, I've not. But
Wonderful
I think I'll wait for another batch of capers.
It's a wonderful little romance comedy with Audrey Hepburn and Peter O'Toole.
Mm-hmm. But the Best Offer. I don't know if I loved it or not, but it's a very interesting one.
Is that the one where there's an auctioneer that has a hidden private art collection?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed that movie quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give anything away of it because Jeffrey Rush does a fantastic job in that film. So I'm trying to think of what movies to add to my I Watch Dead People list. And I'm trying to decide between North by Northwest and Vertigo. And I'm leaning towards Vertigo.
Okay.
Papillon. Let's see.
Pampelon?
Have you watched the others?
The others. Well, in my I Watch Dead People, it's not about ghost movies. It's about it's movies that have actors who have since died.
Oh, okay. I completely misunderstood the point of the thing. Okay.
Firefly?
Yeah, you hadn't oh, sad. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the guy who played Shepard just died.
And let's see, another one would be
Suck.
Jules and Jim. I know that's a really obscure one for most people.
It's part of the it's part of the series. I never watched it, but it's part of the same series as 400 Blows, isn't it?
You know, I think so. I can't say for sure. I know it's a French film.
I mean, I know it's one of Truffaut. Not, do I mean Truffaut? Yeah, Truffaut's films. But I thought it was part of that group.
Then let's see, the Defiant Ones might be a little bit more in keeping with the times.
Do you have any Robin Williams films on there?
Oh, well, yes, I already have in the compilation. There's Popeye.
Oh,
Love Popeye.
So I might add Jumanji as well. It's just I don't want to, hit two birds with no. Just, let's see. I know you're probably saying, why can't you review one of his better films? Like Dead Poets Society?
like any of them? Well, in Dead Poets Society, you kind of have the double thing where it's a movie about dealing with, the suicide of someone you know.
And but I'd already drawn Popeye, so I had that one in the can.
It's already drawn.
But at least I'm not doing a review of Flubber.
Oh.
Or what was the one where he was driving a large RV?
Oh.
Oh yeah, that was really horrible.
Was that Insomnia by any chance?
No. He was. I mean, the whole point of the movie is that he and his family are on vacation in this big, overpriced RV that he's renting.
Isn't that one just called like Road Trip or something?
It might even be RV rental, as far as I know. It's just.
Actually, yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just. It's literally just called RV.
It is.
It's just called RV. The internet tells me so.
Then I was thinking, African Queen would be a great one to do.
Oh, that not my favorite bogey film, but very enjoyable.
Do you have any with Alan Rickman?
I'm sure I saw you did Dogma, didn't you?
No, I have not done Dogma.
You could do Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy too.
Dogma would be more fun to do.
Aw.
Oh,
No, I love the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie, and I really liked the books, and I still liked the movie. So I like trying to get people to watch it.
I really enjoyed the BBC series Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That was my favorite one.
The people I've met that have watched that don't like the movie and vice versa. That seems to be one of those. You can't like both.
I have problems with the movie, but I still love what they did with the Vogons, and I like some of the stuff they did with the improbability drive, especially with the yarn puppet probability.
That was amazing. That scene was epic.
Let's see.
I also really liked Mos Def as Ford Prefect. I think was awesome.
Yeah, no, he did a good job of it.
I wonder if I did any of the Harry Potter movies reviews.
Ah.
Yeah, I was gonna purposely not say those because it's Harry Potter. It's so huge.
Mr.
I was gonna try and recommend something that people wouldn't think of, because you have the guy who played Dumbledore for the first half. He died, and Alan Rickman later died.
Well, we have Die Hard, and there are 2 actors in Die Hard that are no longer alive.
Yeah, I thought you did Die Hard.
I don't think I've done Die Hard.
But it's interesting. I mean, the first Die Hard was the only one I really liked. The other ones were just...
I actually really liked the third one. And it's cheesy as hell, but I liked the one they did with the hacker kid recently. I want to say that's 4, but I don't want to mess up the number.
With the hacker kid?
Yeah, with the hacker kid and the weird, crazy scene where he's being flipped around on a jet plane that makes no sense with real physics.
Are you thinking... Is that a Die Hard film?
Live Free or Die Hard. That's what it was called.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yes. Oh, that was a terrible Die Hard movie.
I know it was terrible, but I still enjoyed it.
The only reason they have that scene in the movie is they wanted to show, hey, we can do the same type of special effects as was done inside Inception.
That was done in Inception?
Yeah, where a room gets turned around upside down and...
Oh, you think?
Came out the same year. Or the year after, or... I don't know.
I'd have to look at the dates. I bow to your knowledge with anything that comes to movies because I'm not paying attention that much to them.
But still, that movie was much better than the Die Hard movie that came after it.
Was that the one with Samuel Jackson?
There was another one that came after it? How did I not hear about that?
The one where his son is an international spy?
What?
This is... Oh,
what?
yes.
How did I... What?
Oh, yeah, this was really, really terrible. Because his daughter was involved in...
oh, my gosh, I guess there was A Good Day to Die Hard. I completely missed that one.
Oh, yeah, the one you're talking about, that's at least passable. But this other one, I think he was trying to compete with, or what's the film that has every 80s action movie stars in it?
The Expendables?
Yeah, I think he was trying to, make it work with, Expendables 3. Which, let me tell you, Expendables 3.
I was not a huge fan of the first Expendables. I kind of watched that movie and went, ugh, what did I just spend $20 on?
Oh, you saw it in the theater?
Yeah. I regretted spending a ticket price on that one. I just did not, it wasn't even I don't really even remember anything interesting from it. Like, I can forgive a movie if it's stupid and badly written, but it has some great stunts. But, like, it wasn't even fun from what I remember. Like, I just don't even... It just felt like a white bread sandwich with no filling.
It felt very much like an 80s action flick to me. So it was kind of nostalgic for me.
Oh, yeah, I don't really get into the
They're
80s
not
stuff, so
very,
maybe I wasn't the target audience. I mean, there's that to be said about movies. That happens sometimes. Like, sometimes it's referencing a bunch of stuff that you just don't know, so you're like,
It was the format, you know, barely, held together plot with lots of action sequences that don't really make a lot of sense. Throw in some explosions.
Oh god, that is from the 80s. Yeah, okay, this is making more sense now. Yeah, like the early Dirty Harry movies and like half of the buddy cop movies.
Yeah.
Like any of the like Rambo lookalikes that came out. Oh, okay. Yeah. I get it now.
You get it now? Okay.
I get it now. I wish I didn't, but I get it. Where is 15? Where's layer 15? Why can't I find this? I set this file up in the most weird backwards way because it made sense at the time, and then when trying to edit it, this is...
Because you said the word lair, I heard it as lair, as an L-A-I-R. Who has seen
Dragon's Lair?
Who has seen The Lair of the White Worm?
Oh, no, I have not.
You have not. How about you, Crystal? Have you seen Lair?
No. This doesn't...
You have
Lair
to.
of the White Worm.
White Worm. One of Hugh Grant's.
Well, the Google image results on this are pretty terribad looking.
Oh, it's hilarious!
Wow.
Oh, it's so fun. You will laugh uproariously while watching this wonderful, goofy horror movie.
Oh, not in the same kind of shtick, but goofy horror movies that are kind of cool. Have you watched John Dies at the End?
Oh yes, I have seen John Dies at the End. Lots of fun.
That was good. I'm trying to think.
Oh, have you seen Odd Thomas?
I haven't. It's been on my Netflix list forever, and it keeps kind of bumping around the middle of the list. Like, I keep putting things ahead of it, but then I keep bumping it back up from the bottom, and I haven't gotten around to watching it yet.
I've been thinking about doing a movie review of it since that actor died.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, yeah, he's the actor who played Chekhov on the new Star Trek series.
In Voyager?
Franchise. Pardon me, the movie franchise. Yeah, the young actor who plays Chekhov on the new Star Trek movie franchise. He died a couple months. 4 months ago?
Wow.
He was driving a car, or rather, he wasn't driving it. He got out of his car to unlock his gate, and this car had a known defect that had placed a recall on it, and the known defect was that the car would go out of
parking mode,
and the car rolled forward and crushed him against his gate.
I think I do remember hearing about that. Oh,
I mean,
I didn't realize.
So tragic, you know?
Oh, that's a shitty way to die. Because it probably wasn't instant, too. Like, that's rough.
I think I'm done cleaning up my brain here.
You done with your brainwash?
So funny.
Hey, it can't all be gems.
Let's see, what should I do next on the list? Oh, here's a...
Yeah.
This was a terrible B horror movie called The Beast with a Million Eyes.
I only see 2.
Well,
I
this
think you got some more eyes to draw on there, Mark. Got a little ways to go.
everybody was really disappointed with this film. Basically, this hive mind type creature could control other beings with its mind, or could see around through insects' eyes or animals' eyes. So that's why it had
Oh, that's kind of cool.
The Beast with 10,000 Eyes. And has it's one of the worst B movies ever. I mean, it was terrible when it came out. And then because they had to show some sort of alien, they had like the world's smallest spaceship at the bottom of this crater, and this tiny little puppet kind of pops out. And it's not even the alien. This is sort of like the alien species that the alien mind used as a surrogate. So it's basically this poor slave creature that opened its doors and died. And it had the most horrible, chintzy little puppet chains on its arms. Like, wait a minute, this is a slave race that's been, held hostage by a creature's minds for thousands of years, and it's still wearing,
Yeah, why would it need chains?
in space. Like, where would it go?
Maybe it needs to chain it up while the mental monster sleeps at night so it doesn't turn on the self-destruct controls. I don't know.
It has this big kind of keepy cowl on it, which I think was designed just to hold the big rubbery puppet head up into place. Because honest to God, this thing was no bigger than a hand puppet. So it was one of the most horrible monster movie designs. This particular movie monster creator did a whole series of really interesting, awful horror movie monsters that hardly even remembers anymore. So is this the same noisy cat that came in last week?
Yes. It's always Jace. Always Jace crying.
Since it is Monday, I normally take my wife out to dinner, and we're trying to find new teriyaki places to go, because the place we used to go all the time, the only reason we realize we're going there anymore is because the waitress there absolutely loves us, and so she always makes sure that we have, when we ask for our box to take our leftovers home, she usually has that box already filled with more food. I mean,
Oh, gosh.
loves us. But the quality of the food has gone downhill. So we're
More food can only make up for bad food for so long.
exactly. It's like they changed where they got their chicken, or they switched to a different type of chicken, and it just has more of a spongy texture. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but some people will inject water into chicken breasts
Ugh.
to make
Yeah.
them heavier.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, like if you go if you buy Kroger brand chicken versus like Foster Farms, the
Right.
Foster Farms will have they'll say on the packaging like how much saline solution they put in the chicken. And that's one thing, like whether you're a organic hippie or not, like at least Foster Farms isn't filling their chickens completely full of filler saline. So you get less salty chicken and a little more chicken per pound.
Well, my wife and I, we were finding that we were Foster Farm fans for a while, but recently we were finding that taste popping up more and more. And so we switched over to a Kirkland chicken, and the breasts were much smaller, but they didn't have that taste to them. And we figured out smaller and better tasting is better than, big and tastes like you just bit into the ocean type of thing.
Well, and you're paying per pound, so if the chicken breasts are smaller, you get more breasts,
Okay.
All right, I gotta go take a cake out of the oven. I'll be back.
So, Bill,
Hmm?
the person you were going to go meet or the host of the event you were going to go to, she's in another country?
She's in Alaska.
Oh, okay. When you said the name of where she was, I thought it was another country. I didn't realize it was.
I said Bismarck. Oh, wait a minute, that's Montana, isn't it? Sorry, but same deal.
Yeah, another country.
Mhm.
So, was that a political group or no? That's a group you meet on Wednesdays, right?
That's the one on Tuesdays. This is the life coach. This is this is someone I have a conference with about once a month, and I
And
was still getting used to the Monday deal, so I'd forgotten to mention it when we first were doing the rescheduling last month. Doing the scheduling last month.
Patrick had said that he might be a little late, but I think he's going to miss out on the session altogether today.
Mm-hmm.
So, what movies are you? Do you have a theme for your next trip to Square?
Nothing yet. I is sort of thinking through the possibilities. I keep saying I want to do some comedies, but every time I think of that, it sort of something else comes up.
And you've already done the musical, so I can't suggest Oliver.
Yeah, I mean, I'd sort of seen Oliver already.
Sort of?
What kind of movies are we suggesting?
Oh, Bill doesn't have a theme for his movie rental double feature this week.
Hmm.
And he was thinking
Holiday movies that aren't cheerful. He could do horror holiday movies. There's a couple of those.
The point I was making to Mark was I'd already done a couple of depressing movies in my last few slots, so I was hoping to get something that's slightly more upbeat.
some comedy movies. Well, let's see. There's Clue.
Clue is great.
Seen it.
Okay,
So I love, but though it's it is indeed a fun movie.
so you probably haven't seen its precursor by 10 years, which is Murder by Death.
You recommended this one to me before.
Well, you can give it a pass. It's an acquired taste. It's not at all politically incorrect anymore. I mean, Peter Sellers as a whitewashed Asian Charlie Chan type figure. Let's see, what would be a good comedy? What's something that had me in stitches?
I mean, I'm sort of trying to think of a good theme of comedy because I mean,
Well, you've seen Raising Arizona.
oh yes, of course, a modern classic.
And you've probably seen then the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Not yet.
Oh, well, that's, a little dark, but lots of very, very funny. I always like his films.
Yeah. I was sort of putting it off because I'd seen a few. I'd rewatched a few of them recently, so I saw the rewatched incredible, fantastic Mr. Fox in.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that you saw Moonrise Kingdom.
Oh, that's one I hadn't seen. Yeah.
Also a wonderful film.
It was, yeah, I mean, the reason I was mentioning Mr. Fox, I mean, I'm not sure, but it looked like they completely re-edited it for the Criterion movie because there were so many scenes that I didn't recognize from the first time I'd watched it.
Have you ever seen the original Lakaja Falls movies?
Yes, I saw parts of it. I might be willing to give it another try because at the time I didn't like it, but
But not the one with the Robin Williams. I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. And like I was saying, I didn't like it at the first time, but I'm pretty sure, in hindsight, that the reason that what I didn't like about it is I'm completely unfair, is that what I thought was bad acting and everything, I'm pretty sure was just a really, really, really bad dub.
Let's see. I'm just drawing a complete blank when it comes to not horror movies, but comedies.
Hmm.
My wife is very curious about watching Keanu, though.
Oh, that's the one with the cat.
Yes, that's the one with the cat. Oh, Mousetrap.
Oh, that one's great. I think it's Mouse Hunt.
No, yeah, it's Mouse Hunt.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this an adaptation of the Agatha Christie play?
No.
No, it's about a pair of brothers who inherit their father's estate and have completely different ideas of what to do with the old house. Mm-hmm. And there's this like extremely smart little mouse that lives in the house that starts going home alone on them, trying to get the two brothers out of what it considers its house.
Oh, I think I saw a trailer for that.
Oh, it was hilarious. It is
so good. And it makes you feel really good at the end. That's a great movie. I haven't thought about that movie in years.
So Mousetrap is a great little comedy. I would definitely check out that if you haven't seen it.
I still think it's called Mouse Hunt, but I'm going to check.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Mousetrap is a completely different one. It's probably Mouse Hunt.
Yeah, Mouse Hunt, 1997. That's definitely the one. Oh, so you could go with like comedy hijink movies. Can we think of any other like that?
Well, too much slapstick. It's nice to have a nice comedy.
Yeah, because I mean, while there's for example, I've been making a point of not dipping into Screwball again, much as there is a handful of the classics that I still need to see.
Now, I know it's a musical, but I always found it to be a fun, wonderful comedy. This funny thing happened on the way to the forum.
Oh, loves that movie. Unfortunately, not only have I seen it already, I virtually have it memorized.
Let's see.
It was one of my favorite recreations of ancient Rome for a while.
We have reached the end of another epic sketch time. It is 5:30, folks, and I have to sign off because I have some preparations I need to do before I go and pick up my wife. Hopefully, Still will be the host next week. And I'll talk to you guys then.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Night.